loaded with a very sharp bolt, and aims down sight. The moose is no less than 80 yards away. Jim now has a clear shot. Jim locks in with the moose, takes a deep breath, and fires the bolt, hitting the moose straight through the heart. The moose jumps several feet into the air, and then falls square on the ground, completely motionless. Juniper freezes in astonishment. After a moment or two, they both approached the beast. Jim then lays his hand on the moose's body, and with a low voice he says, "Thank you, Majestic One, for the honorable hunt. My family and friends shall honor your sacrifice by feeding them with your meat. Please bless this gift of meat to my friends and family." The energy was heavy, but comforting at the same time. Juniper then says, with a low and understanding voice, "Jim, that was quite beautiful. The level of respect you have for the animal really says something." Jim replies, "Thank you. I hunt for food and survival, never for sport. If I don't pay respects, then the food shall not be blessed and protected. I am always trying to feed more than just myself. We all must eat." "You know, Jim, that's real admirable," Juniper replies. Jim simply responds with a grin and a nod before he starts tying a rope through each one of the legs of the moose to drag it away. What exactly are we going to do with this?" Juniper asks. Jim quickly replies, "There is a tree near the entrance where we could hang and dress him. I hope you have a strong stomach." "Well, I guess we will see." Juniper is filled with optimism. The long way seems to drag on for hours, before reaching a very large and beautiful tree that's filled with life. It's glowing almost. Jim breaks the silence. It's almost too dark to see. "Do you think you can make up some fires?" Juniper, without saying a word, quickly crafts up 3 decent-sized fires, strong enough to illuminate a small town, while Jim starts hanging the moose from the tree. First, he weaves a thick rope through one of the front legs of the moose, then the other. After that, he takes the other end of the rope, tosses it up, and over one of the bigger branches. Then he catches it before it hits the ground, and starts pulling. He pulls the rope enough to get it up and off the ground, but notices he needs Juniper's help to drive the stake into the ground. Juniper realizes he needs some help. "Hey Jim, is this enough light for you?" Juniper asks while grabbing a stake. Jim replies with some chuckle. "Yeah, that's fine. Mind helping me out?" "Put that stake right there by your foot, please." She's barely able to drive the stake into the ground, but manages to get it. "Good enough. And now it's time for the fun part." Jim replies as he ties the rope down to the stake. "I guess this is the part where I find out if I have a strong stomach or not." Juniper giggles in nervousness. Jim grips his dagger firmly and slowly stabs the moose in the sternum. He struggles some, but is able to get it. He then pulls the dagger straight down, exposing the moose's insides. He then drops the dagger and digs a hole in the ground in a spot to bury the intestines. After that, he grabs a very sharp hook and reaches down inside the chest cavity of the beast to find the esophagus, and slices it all the way through clean. Immediately, all the intestines cascade down into the hole. "That's gross. Are we almost done here?" Juniper asks. "Wasn't your dad a huntsman?" Jim asks. Yeah, he still is. But he always did that part himself." "Wait, you know my dad?" Juniper says with some confusion. "Yeah, Juniper, your father and I go back many years. I can explain everything tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, let's take this moose back to the house. And in the morning, I'm going to be making waffles and some other things for breakfast. I can explain everything then. Deal? Jim says. Sounds good to me. We better get going. It might take us a while. Juniper replies. Jim, grabbing the other end of the rope. It seems like I might have some problems pulling this thing all the way home. Can you help me out? Juniper ties her rope to the other legs of the moose and starts pulling. They both struggle with the weight, but they manage. After a few minutes, Juniper groans. Hey, are we almost there? It seems like time has been dragging forever. Jim laughs. Huh. Oh yeah, almost halfway there. Jim breaks the silence. Look, it's the house. We just need to bring this behemoth to the backyard next to my workshed. I can start portioning him out in the morning. Juniper tiredly replies. Finally, I was starting to get tired. When they bring the moose around to the back, Jim points to the spot next to the shed, and they drop the moose right next to the shed, without any issue. He'll stay there until after breakfast tomorrow. Nothing comes before breakfast, Jim states. Juniper, with much agreement, says, Fine by me. After some small talk, Jim fixes Juniper a place to sleep for the night. They both quickly fall asleep. In the morning, both Jim and Juniper wake up at about the same time. Well, good morning, sunshine. How'd you sleep? Jim says sleepily. Juniper replies, Good morning. I slept well, thanks. Jim proceeds to ask, Ready for breakfast? 'Cause I'm starving. As long as it comes with the tea you made yesterday, then I'm in. Juniper perks up slightly. Jim, already starting the kettle. I'm already on it. Are you still interested in how I know your father? Yeah, I'd love to know that, Juniper eagerly replies. Jim then continues. Remember how I told you I was in the army? Well, during the Great War, I was in my unit with the other berserks. We were instructed to go to the medic unit and find a medic buddy to bring us into battle. Most of the other medics were already paired up with someone. Then I stumbled across Tim, your father. I informed him of my instruction, and he didn't hesitate to agree with being battle buddies. Juniper makes a statement. Yeah, that sounds like my dad. You never once hesitated to help anyone. Jim starts again. I can fully agree with that. He never once failed me. Anyways, we were given enough time to get to know each other, both inside and out. He and I grew close. We quickly discovered that both of our contracts had about the same time left, so we agreed to stay close. But in the meantime, we had to really hunker down on training, to better prepare ourselves for an upcoming battle. Juniper then raises a question. Did either of you know what you guys were fighting next? Jim proceeds with, We learned what we were going to fight the moment we looked in the beast's eyes. It was a giant, silver-winged beast. It shimmered in the sunlight. And the beast's eyes, I'll never forget how piercing blue they were. That beast nearly wiped out all of us. But alas, we nearly defeated the beast before it retreated to those mountains right over there. Sometimes I could still see him gliding in and out of those peaks. Juniper is stunned with astonishment. You nearly killed that thing? Jim quickly responds. And your father as well. If it wasn't for him, I would not be here. He saved my life many times. Right, of course, sorry. And it's just hard to believe that he was in the army. He has never once mentioned it. I'm curious to know why, Juniper replies. He hasn't? Well, the only reason why he might not talk about it... Jim pauses for a moment. Oh yeah? What's that? Juniper eagerly replies. He then continues. There was one battle we were short medics on. The head medic was slain from a wicked beast he tried to take on himself. So, your dad took over the head medic position. There were so many soldiers that needed healing. I will give him a lot of credit for his efforts in saving them, but between him and only a few other healers, there were just too many injuries. He could not save everyone. I could tell it was bothersome for him a great deal when he was telling me this, but this was so long ago. Maybe it's something that still bothers him. When he is ready, he may open up about it. Juniper replies softly, "Yeah, maybe he will. Maybe I shouldn't ask about it. I don't want him to be upset." Jim then replies, "As long as you mention you and I cross paths first, he may want to speak on it. Just don't force it. Just don't force it, okay?" There was a short pause before JUNI speaks up. "So, is breakfast almost ready? I'm starving." "Oh yes, it's nearly finished," Jim quickly replies. A few moments pass before Jim carefully carries their plates from the kitchen to the dining table. "Here you go, Juniper. A fresh, hot plate of potatoes, various veggies, sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, and some waffles. Would you like some tea?" Jim says excitedly. Juniper, before answering, pauses briefly. "Wow, this looks fantastic. You really know how to cook. I'd love some more tea, please." While Juniper and Jim are enjoying their breakfast, Jim continues to tell stories from his war days, including Juniper's father, Tim. She listens to every word he says with intent. Eventually, there is a low point in the conversation. Juniper then asks, "Hey Jim, are we going to be leaving soon?" "Well, that's a great question. If I remember correctly, you wanted to get stronger with your abilities and such, right?" Jim asks. JUNI then replies, "Well, yeah, but you don't have to come with me if you don't want to, I suppose. I did help you with hunting, so I don't think you should feel the need to come with me if you don't want to." "Well, of course I want to go. What else do I have to do? I'm retired and still healthy. It's not like I have much family or many friends," Jim says. "So you'll be joining me? I have no idea how long this will take." "Are you sure you're okay with that?" Juniper questions. Jim perks up a bit. "That would be in your best interest if I came with you. I know almost all of these mountains and forests. Plus, the gods know my skills can be brushed up on some anyways. And like I said before, I'm still in great health, so why not?" "That sounds like a plan to me. Plus, we might run into that dragon that lives in the woods. Wouldn't that be exciting, to meet the wizard again? I'm sure Dad would love to know we are adventuring together," Juniper says happily. He starts to grin some. "Then it's settled. We will soon leave as soon as we clean up." Jim and Juniper quickly clean up their breakfast and start preparing to leave. After some time, Jim shouts from another room, "Hey, are you almost ready to go now?" Juniper quickly replies, "What's that? Oh, yeah, no, I'm ready. If we wait too long, we won't be able to get very far before we set up camp for the night." As soon as Juniper and Jim head down the hall, as soon as she sees Jim down the hall, she brings up a question. "Hey Jim, what exactly do you plan on doing with that moose in the back anyways?" Jim then replies, "I have a barbarian friend who married a witch that are already planning to come and take care of it for us, so no need to worry. One time, they had held an entire elephant for me while I went to battle. I told them both to feed everyone in the village so it won't go to waste just in case we're out too long." "Hey, whatever works, I guess. At least people were fed." "Anyways, shall we leave now?" Juniper says. "Yes, ma'am. Just one question. What direction do you want to go in first? Mountains? The forest?" Jim asks. Juniper then replies, "I actually want to go try and find the wizard. First, he might know about the winged beast in the mountains. I think it would be a good idea to get some info about them first. Maybe we can buy some potions from him, or something like that." "Hey, good point. I am certain I can guide us in the general area of where we saw him last," Jim confidently says. Without hesitation, they quickly make their way out of the front door, down the road, and towards the forest. For a good portion of this walk, they both remained silent.